Hey,
Good day.
to
Can we bring YouTube closer? Awesome. I mean, it's okay. Here it
like
goes.
this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Holistic Freedom Secrets podcast. This is episode 44, and that's amazing. So, I am Coach Tensi.
I'm Coach Soul. We are a Fulu Child, and this podcast follows our 5-pronged healing system: be, cleanse, fuel, move, and shine, which follow the 5 days of the week: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Today's Thursday, therefore it's Move Day. So we'll be talking about moving your body.
Yes. The topic for today is safe moves. So, prioritizing alignment and the breath over competition. This is big, especially if you are, um,
New to guided movement.
or if you are highly competitive in being the best at everything, especially as we go through different life shifts. I know as women, once we have a baby, or once we reach a certain stage in life in our bodies, such as coming up on menopause, even postmenopause, even over 30, even over 40, So these all carry different needs and different shifts that we need to start being mindful of if we never have been before. And we're going to talk about that today. So if that's interesting to you, then please subscribe. And what else?
Follow, like, comment, and notify yourself for next time that we're going live.
Mm-hmm. And we want to see you in the comments for real, because we are looking to build community. And this is the way that we customize our podcast, by looking at the feedback, and whatever y'all share is what we'll go off of.
So like I said, if you're someone who is somewhat new to guided movement, meaning new to fitness video follow-alongs, or you got a personal trainer and it's new to you, or you're just now getting into yoga and you're going to yoga classes, hot yoga, and all of these things, there's an instructor, and the instructor is going to be doing things to their level and to the level of being the example of what it's supposed to look like. And then there's you at your level with your own capabilities, right? And so whether this is weight training, calisthenics, or yoga postures, there's a very human and very normal want that arises of wanting to do things exactly how you see them, because that's what resonates with this is how it's supposed to look. But sometimes we forget, in that desire to do what we see, that we're not going to start off at the same level as the instructor, or at the same level of as the very experienced students who are also in class with you or whatever.
And I want to bring something else to our attention, because movement is such a powerful way to help us detoxify our bodies and to heal. It can stimulate, it can turn on this part of ourselves that self heals. And it's called autophagy. It's this thing that happens when we are in a certain state of movement.
Bless you.
Yeah. And it allows for us to really clean up the things that are not working in our bodies, and find clearer mind states, and so on and so forth. So even if you find yourself maybe in some middle way, right? Maybe in the middle. So maybe you're not super competitive and you're definitely not a beginner either. But maybe something happened in life to where you had a surgery, or you had this major trauma that happened, or you're dealing with something like some chronic condition, um, or disease of some sort that makes you need to bring your attention to your body and in more mindful ways. Or you just want to like optimize, right? Maybe you're not super competitive, blah, 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 but you just want to be the best you that you could be. Okay. This is also going to be a great episode for you. So all of these people, super competitive, these super, or you just want to really optimize, or you're healing from something in particular. This is something that my background, certified in ancient African yoga, Kemetic yoga to be precise, registered yoga teacher for over 7 years. And I have been active all of my life in some capacity. Martial arts, dance, of course, yoga. But just finding new ways to move is so exciting to me because I love variety. And maybe you do too. Maybe you're like, doing the same thing every day. I don't know how I feel about that. Because all of us at some level like to change it up sometimes. So today we're talking about proper alignment because you might have found yourself in a similar place as me on several occasions in life, to where I started out not interested in in health in particular, and one day I just had the inkling, like, I don't know, I think I want to be the most fit, or the most healthy, or the most mentally clear that I can be in back in college. And I want to set a good example or whatever for myself and just show myself that I can. And I went to this yoga class, and I'd done a little bit of yoga online, but I wasn't the thing, right? I was a little flexible, so I leaned into that to show off. And that was the worst thing I could have done, because by the end of the class, and the next day, I was feeling extremely sore, and like I done almost stretched too much, and pushed myself to the point of pain too much, just so that I can on the outside have a certain look, have a certain image of me mimicking the pose just like the instructor. And that led to injury for me, which was not what I wanted to do.
Right.
Because now I got to recover and heal from me being extra. Okay. So that happened back then. And then later in life, when I had my first daughter, Omi. Yes, sing it. Okay. We experienced something new, to where now I'm, I know a lot about yoga and I know a lot about movement, but my body feels like it done been ravaged, and my level of strength diminished significantly. I felt like I couldn't barely get out of bed. And just to walk was a lot of energy. I would be tired trying to get to the bathroom on my own. For a while, I couldn't even get to the bathroom on my own. Like, I needed help. Help to move like that. And that's how I was feeling inside. But yeah, so it was a stepwise progression for me to get back to where I am now.
Step by step progression.
Yeah. And now it's amazing that I chose to focus on the breath. I chose to focus on the basics. I chose to focus on aligning my posture, aligning my body, and and simple things that allowed for me to accelerate my healing process and to just about get right back where I was, which was pretty great space within months. So this is a possibility, and it's something that you can do
Yeah.
because I mean I did it. Other people have done it. Our clients
Well, and it's not
focusing
a
on
it's not a
alignment.
negative outcome. It's not a
Yeah.
negative outcome if your ability level drops due to life changes and or additions to life, um, or life traumas. It's not an overall negative that your ability to bend forward, bend backward, bend sideways, or lift something, or pull something. You pull something with your hands, not pull a muscle. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
um, goes way down from your early 20s or whatever. I also have, a bit of a story with this type of thing, as I was also very active, especially with dance, my
Mm-hmm.
whole life. And right now, about, I don't know, 4 years ago now, maybe 3.5 years ago now or so, a chronic nerve based tension has entered my life. And I have consistently there in the background pain all across, all up and down the left side of my body. And this also has made it so that if I work out too hard, or I yoga too hard, if you will, um, to say a funny phrase that some beginners say, uh, then I'll wake up, and my body will be under a little distress. So I have to be super cognizant of proper alignment and proper breathing, even with like my job and basic postures slash fitness moves that I do, push ups, whatever. I have to be very, very, very aware of proper alignment, which has made it so that my form is quite good, because proper alignment is an improvement to your form. But it also means that like I slow down in the movement. I cannot try to compete with the video instructor,
Same.
or anything like that, or even Coach Tensi if we're doing movement together. I work at my own pace and I pay attention to what my body needs in real time, keeping me in the here and now and allowing for proper alignment, which has helped, and not just brought my ability level down, but it also brought my um, awareness up, and it brought my form up, and it brought my ability to understand and step into other people's movement shoes way up. And this is, a net positive. So, what does proper alignment mean? Proper alignment, what we're talking about, is doing movements designed to help you either increase flexibility, increase strength, or tone your body in a way that protects your joints and doesn't overstretch or overextend your muscles and joints and tendons. That's all alignment is. It's doing the movements in a way that doesn't overextend, overstretch, or leave your joints unprotected.
Yeah. And my specific way of doing it, like I use a certain framework that I basically learned proper alignment with ancient practices like yoga, proper alignment and also from singing, honestly,
Hmm.
being a stage performer. Um, and proper alignment when it comes to different modalities of movement, like when I was in martial arts or when in dance, or, and look to see what are the things that are in common, and how do physical therapists and how do the people that specialize in yoga therapy, so the therapeutic aspect of movement, how do they align the body to protect the joints, to protect the back, to protect the neck, the um, to protect you from overextending and from not getting the most out of the stretch that you could. Like, you want to get the most that you can at your level, where you are in that given day. When it comes to flexibility and strength and what your body is primed and ready for in that moment. So, some common, a common framework that I utilize is one that I came up with from exploring all these things and doing our own research and putting it all together. And it's a bottom up, inside and out alignment method.
Inside to out.
So it's inner alignment is primary, and you align from the inside out. So you notice, starting from the bottom, right? So whatever is connected closest to the earth for you, whether that's, if you're standing, it would be your feet. If you're sitting, it would be your bottom, right? So aligning and really anchoring down, and making sure that your foundation or your base that's touching the thing that's closest to the earth is solid, and then building up, kind of like you're stacking Lego bricks or stacking bricks on top of bricks, and building up, aligning, scanning from the bottom all the way to the top of your head, your body, in that way. So there are three main pieces that we check into for alignment. And it's like the three main areas, to where if you just bring your awareness to these three, then that tends to align everything along the way in your body. So the first one would be your feet, or whatever's most connected to the ground. So if you're standing, it would obviously be your feet. Or if you're doing some sort of movement where your feet are the ones that are connected to the ground and they need to bear the most weight, they need to carry you. Then we first start with the feet, for example. And I'm like, how deep we gonna get with this? Okay, but
Not that deep.
Okay, we're not gonna get that deep. So first, making sure that you can kind of rock it, kind of move from side to side, front and back, and you feel solid in your feet. So there are 3 points in your feet. We're not gonna dive deeply into what those are and exactly how to align your feet, but first, we're grounding in the feet to the point that you feel solid. You can wiggle your toes and you can still be balanced. Okay, next, the second area that we want to make sure we're always bringing alignment to would be your belly button. So feet and belly button. So with the belly button, we're drawing that belly button in toward the spine. And with that, something that naturally comes with that is a natural tilt in the pelvis. So it's tilting kind of just so that you can like release your lower back. So just tilting a little so that your lower back just releases as you bring your belly button toward your spine. What that naturally starts to do is your chest begins to open up a little bit. And the third place that we bring our awareness to is and I do the collarbone. So this is ensuring that opening in the heart space. So opening, expanding in the collarbone. So your shoulders naturally kind of roll back and down and release away from your ears. The neck naturally gets a little longer in the back, lengthening. And I mean, you can bring your head to like a neutral neck, to where you're not bringing your chin all the way down to your chest, and you're not bringing it out or in or up, but it's like neutral. So those are the three areas for alignment. If you just bring your awareness to those three, you're pretty solid. And say if you're sitting down, then it would be the bones in your butt. Okay, what's nicknamed the sit bones. Okay, and you can just make sure that is bringing you balance and you feel really stable there, and then working your way up all the way to the top with those 3 areas. So no matter what movement I'm doing, I just bring my awareness to these 3 spots, and it reminds my body to come back into its point of alignment, come back into center. And that, just those 3 is simple.
It has a lot of different layers of protection.
Yes.
So the last thing that we're going to touch on today is also how the breath plays into all of this. So basically, how our breathing, like where we breathe into, as well as the pace and rhythm that we establish with our breathing, plays into when we are doing fitness, yoga, this and that.
Yes.
When it comes to fitness, anytime that you are pushing,
Making a push-up.
yeah, or if you've pulled something up or across or whatever, anytime that you're releasing slowly, right? So if you're bent over forward and you've pulled something up and now it's releasing slowly, or anytime that you're pushing something away or pushing something up, lifting something, pushing up, you want to be breathing out. You want to be breathing out. And proper breathing when it comes to alignment always goes as low as it can in the pelvic region.
Mm-hmm.
So you're pushing out your arms and you're pushing out the breath from your pelvis, or as low as you can as you're practicing.
At least
for a while, I couldn't get my breath all the way down to my pelvis, but I would make sure that it wasn't just all above my rib cage.
So at least you're starting to, like, you can place your hands at the base of your rib cage, right? And just start with your breathing, just bringing your awareness there to feel your ribs begin to expand.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to do a couple practice breaths to get the feeling of where you'll be breathing from, and then do the movement without the weights, a couple times, and breathe from the correct place, and then get into your actual weight training. But I digress. Whenever you're pushing or whenever you're releasing slowly from a pull, you want to be breathing out, most likely also from the mouth, breathing out through the mouth, and you want to be breathing out from your low diaphragm, your low belly, or as low as you can get in your belly for now.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to yoga, if you want to talk, add something to the yoga.
Yeah, I would just say across the board, any movement, these things apply. And for any movement, whether you're gardening and you got to pick up a bag of soil or whatever, or you're squatting down to pick up something or reaching up to get something, anytime you're lengthening or needing to extend out, or deepen into a movement, deepen into a stretch, or pull something into you, anything to where your body is made to, it's going to have to get some extra energy in order to do this part of the movement. You're going to want to sync that up with the exhalation. So in yoga, it tends to be like when we're deepening into a stretch, we're going and we're maybe drawing the shoulder blades together more deeply, or we're going more deeply into a forward fold where we kind of like reach to touch our toes toward our toes or anything like that. Squatting down is basically no. Okay, here we go. Yeah, everything I said before I said squat down is where we are really going to utilize the exhalation, but try to keep everything as simple as we possibly can. There's a certain rhythm that we follow in yoga and that I follow in all aspects of when I move my body. I inhale to create space in my body, to fill up with the breath, filling up any areas of tension, to expand the rib cage, to expand in the torso, to create space for the movement. And then with the exhalation, I deepen into the movement. I'll push up if I'm doing a push up. I'll extend out of a squat. I'll lift up if I'm doing like a Superman kind of position on with my belly to the floor. I'll lift up my arms, or I'll exhale to deepen into a stretch, whatever the stretch is, whether it's twisting or up and down or backward or whatever it is. That helps me, that ebb and flow of inhale, create the space, expand, pause, notice the breath, hold the breath for a moment, and then exhale to deepen, to allow for all of that energy just to move. So the exhalation is the masculine, is like that action, the move. And the inhalation is the receiving, bring it in and create the space, give yourself that nourishment so that you can move later. Yeah.
Cool. So proper alignment, breathing, and not being in constant competition with the instructor. Make sure you comment below your experiences with movement when it comes to proper alignment or misalignment, right? We're building community, so we can hit you with some tips in the comments when we see them. Can't wait to engage with you guys. Also, like, subscribe, follow, notify yourself for the next time we're going live. Let the algorithm know you like the content and that other might like it as well.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is Shine Day, so we'll see you there.
Yay. Take good care, love. Peace.